So today's video is brought to you by Gone Riding Parts. They have an eBay store. They part out all kinds of low-hour dirt bikes. All of these bikes are low-hour and they sell the OEM parts without the OEM prices. This bike behind me will get completely stripped apart by Gone Riding Parts. They specialize in a lot more than just Yamaha. They have parts from Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha, Honda, KTM, and more. That's going to be all from our sponsor, Gone Riding Parts. Don't forget, if you're a dirt bike guy, and I know a lot of you truck guys are, get down in the description box down below, click that link, and browse all of their parts on their eBay store. Let's get into this video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Just Like Smith channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a little update, and we're also going to talk about some issues that we've had with the 6.0 Powerstroke. So we are currently in the middle of making a video installing the KC Turbo's 10-blade balance assembly in the turbo on the 6.0, and we got the turbo apart and kind of ran into some issues. So as far as the actual motor goes on the truck, the motor is fine as far as I know, but if you come over here and come over here to the turbo, we've ran into some issues, nothing to do with KC Turbos. This was pre-existing turbo issues in the truck that I had no idea even existed. So as you can see, we've got the turbo completely disassembled and off of the truck. No big deal, super easy job. Y'all are gonna love this video as soon as I get it finished. All we are is we're waiting on some parts, and then we can get this absolutely beautiful KC Turbos 10-blade balanced assembly installed into the factory 2006 turbo. But whenever I got the factory turbo disassembled to install the KC Turbo's 10-blade balance assembly, we kind of ran into some problems. And we're about to talk about those problems. I'm not really sure how the turbo was working flawlessly, or at least it seemed to be working flawlessly before, because whenever we got in here, it was pretty major and we've had to order some parts. But no worries, got in contact with KC Turbos, and of course they obviously offer all of the parts that you're going to need when it comes to turbos, and they offer a lot more. So they got all of the parts shipped out today, and they're on the way, so no worries. This video should hopefully, as long as UPS or whoever they ship through holds up their end of the deal, we should have these parts hopefully by this weekend, which means that we can throw this turbo back together, get everything installed, and I can get that video cut for all of you 6.0 guys. So I have been working on that behind the scenes for you guys. We got most of that video filmed yesterday, and then today, while we're waiting on parts, I wanted to go ahead and film this video. We got a lot of awesome sound clips of the 6.0. We got some drive-bys, we got some going downtown, you know, with the noise echoing off of the buildings and whatnot. So we're gonna be doing the exact same drive-bys and sound clips once we get the 10-blade installed, because I've been looking on YouTube and there's really no good before and after video, so that's why I reached out to KC Turbos and they wanted to hook it up. So we are getting all of that taken care of. The 6.0 should be running absolutely flawless, but let's go ahead and talk about the problems that we've had here with the factory turbo. So the first problem that we've had is pretty common. This unison ring is grooved out a little bit right here. Don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but it's grooved out, and what that does is that actually sits on this actuator, and that actuator moves it back and forth, and that unison ring sits in these slots with these fins. So let me go ahead and set that on there so I can show you how that works. Okay, so this is what the unison ring does. This little circle piece, this little oval shaped part right here actually gets controlled by this actuator, as I just now showed you. So that actuator moves back and forth, and when that moves back and forth, this opens and closes and moves the vanes inside of the turbo. So what's going to happen a lot of times is all the carbon buildup and everything, the soot, whatever you want to call it, inside of this turbo from it just normal daily driven use, that actuator actually starts to wear in and groove out on the unison ring hole, and then it makes this oval shaped hole kind of peanut shaped. So that's pretty common. So we've got a new KC Turbos billet unison ring on the way for the turbo. Housing of the turbo I've completely degreased and cleaned with a wire brush, a wire wheel, and I also put it in our media blaster and media blasted all of the surfaces that these vanes will sit on and ride on. So that's back to working properly and how it should be. So we'll have a new unison ring right there, all of this stuff cleaned. This piece is perfectly fine. However, when coming over here to this piece, this is the issue that we ran into. So I've had to order a whole new bearing assembly for this. So this whole piece right here will be new, and let me show you why. So whenever we get this whole new piece, this plate is normally sitting right there, okay? And if you take a look at the plate, it's dead flat everywhere except for right here. So if you look at that, it's kind of bent and creased. And what has actually happened, and the people at KC Turbo said that they had, this was pretty rare. What can you do? That's just my luck. But anyway, there are 3 Torx bits that hold this plate on there, and then the hot side compressor wheel goes through there, and there are races in there where the bearings and stuff play. And the bearings and stuff play a major part in all of this. So we were too afraid that this had wore out the actual races inside of there. Not only that, but the head is actually broke off down in there. I attempted to extract it and I just couldn't get it out because it was so small. But they were worried that the races inside of this housing were ruined anyway. So we went ahead and ordered a new housing from KC Turbo. So huge shout out to KC Turbos for taking care of everything. Super, super awesome customer service, and they have just about any part that you could ask for. So they hooked it up and got them paid for, and all the parts should ship out today, hopefully. So this whole piece is pretty much garbage. So this flat piece got bent. I'm assuming that one of the heads of the bolts, I guess through one of the heat cycles or something, one of the bolt heads actually sheared off, and which means that that shot out of the exhaust. So that's pretty funny. I hope that didn't hurt anybody. But yeah, so 2 of the bolts were still there. It is actually these little guys right here. They're little Torx bits. So they're just little Torx bits right there, and they go down, they sit flush, and this one was completely gone, but the actual threads of the bolt is still down in there, which means that the head popped off, and I'm assuming this plate kind of lifted up, and the compressor housing. So when that plate lifted up, this guy right here was just kind of burning in, and you can see right here the edges of these fins are all angled, and they're actually supposed to be flat. So as you can see on the 10-blade swap, it's all very pointy and flat, and these are all angled. So that whole assembly has been spinning and powering the truck with that not perfectly balanced. So that was going to ruin the turbo sooner or later anyway. We went ahead and got this piece in the media blaster and cleaned it up. Got this piece in the media blaster and cleaned it up. We've got our clamps, and then we have the 360 rebuild kit right here. And of course the KC 10-blade balance assembly. So as soon as this piece comes in, all we'll have to do is get some snap ring pliers, I'm pretty sure, and take that snap ring off, take off this VGT solenoid, which looks to be pretty easy. I think it's just 1 bolt, and that shouldn't be a problem. So we should be good on that. So she looks pretty empty in here without the turbo. I'm gonna go ahead and get some brake cleaner and actually clean out all of the engine bay right in there and just get all of that stuff looking nice, spick and span, so we can throw the pretty much new turbo back in. And just FYI, having a 20-inch lifted truck, it does kind of suck pulling the turbo and everything because you have to use a 6-foot step ladder and pretty much just climb into the engine bay. But I mean, there's good that comes out of all bad. We're pretty much going to have a brand spanking new turbo from KC Turbos now, because it'll be running all of their parts internally. Everything except for the compressor housing and the exhaust housing, pretty much all of the internals will be brand spanking new. So the old girl should be barking pretty good. And then as far as an update on the sub box, we've got it completely bondoed. I just have to sand it down and do one last skim coat, and then we are actually ready. We've had some issues with the sub box as well. Sub box upload part 4 will be coming very, very soon. We've sent back the subwoofer, and we actually changed our mind on which subwoofer we're going with. So it's still a Scar subwoofer, but we're going to go with something that's going to be a little bit louder and a little bit more powerful, and it's going to be pushing more watts to the subwoofer, so it should be a little bit louder. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. So don't miss out on that either, especially if you have a 6.0 and you're watching this. Hit that subscribe button down below, because this has been, we have part 1 through 3 up right now, so part 1, 2, and 3 of building the center console, and it's going to sit up flush with the dash and be absolutely loud. It's going to be so sick. The suspension is dirty right now, but look how good that looks, guys, with the striker face plates that are milled out. Gosh, that looks so good. Absolutely perfect geometry on the track bar and drag link angle. Sway bar end links that we built here on the channel are looking absolutely awesome. I am so happy with how this truck's coming along. Finally, some natural light coming in so you all can see this powder work. We still got to get the shocks for right here and the dual steering stabilizer shocks as well. About to get those on order, and they will be here shortly, so stay tuned for that video. Let's see. We've got some more rock lights coming in to light this thing up at nighttime. Right there's the center cradle. Still got to hide a bunch of the wiring and do a bunch of updates. And I'm gonna order some more exhaust wrap as well and wrap on through there so you don't see that silver chunk. But I'm so happy with how this truck's coming, guys. That looks so awesome. Got all the stickers on the back for this show season. Also, I'm very curious if any of my subscribers are in or around Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia area. Comment down below. April 17th, I think, is the date. I'll post up the flyer right now. The Smoky Mountain Truck Fest, I'll be there. So make sure that you all are there if you're around it. It's in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. If you all could make it out, that would be really, really awesome. I hope to see a bunch of you all there, especially if you're a subscriber on the channel. Make sure to come up and talk to me. We'll have the truck up there. It's going to be an awesome time. We go there twice a year. They have one in the spring and one in the fall, so it's an awesome event. They have live entertainment, a dyno, they've got a food truck, all kinds of stuff, and there are a lot of nice builds there, guys. It's not like a squatted truck festival with gunslinging everywhere and all of that, guys. It's an actual really nice family orientated environment at a actual rented out parking lot. It's at the Smoky Stadium in Kodak, Tennessee, so it's a very nice parking lot. Humongous, all kinds of parking. They've got parking for trailers, all kinds of stuff, guys. It's an awesome place. Go ahead and give them a follow as well. I'm going to make that pop up on the screen. It's hosted by the Tennessee Diesel Addiction, so make sure you give their page a follow as well. This thing cleaned up with all of the steering stabilizer shocks and the extra shocks on the side, finally leveled out, guys. This thing is going to look so much better than it did last year at the show. So if you came up and seen it last year at the show, I really appreciate it. I know I talked to a couple of you all, and not only that, but cruising the strip at nighttime and stuff, this is going to be an absolute blast. It is every year, so make sure you can come out to the Smoky Stadium April 17th and bring your trucks, bring your friends. Gosh, it's looking so good. It looks so good back there, guys. I am so excited for show season. And also we have one truck meet March 13th in Somerset, Kentucky. So if any of y'all are around the Kentucky area as well, make sure to try to come to this show as well. I'm going to go ahead and post up the flyer for that. That's at the Somerset Mall starting at 4 p.m. March 13th. That's on a Saturday. So if y'all can make it out to that, I would really appreciate it as well. It's hosted by my buddy Seth. So make sure to go follow Seth on Instagram. He hosted one last time, and there was over a $300 cash prize for the best truck. And this time he's going to be doing first, second, and third place with cash prizes for each. So make sure to get your truck on out there and get it shined up and have a huge chance to win some money. And not only that, it's not really about the money, guys. It's just about getting the truck community in Kentucky and the surrounding cities and states, getting them together. So I really love truck meets around here because we don't have a whole lot of that stuff here in Kentucky, guys. It's more, there's just not a lot of meets often around here, so it's super exciting to hear whenever there are meets. Not only that, but it's finally starting to warm up. Whenever I'm out here in the sun, guys, it literally feels like it's like 70 degrees out here, so it's super nice out. I am so excited for what else to come to the channel this year. We're going to be getting a new build on the channel as well, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is just yet, but we're going to be doing some, we should be doing some more dirt bike content as well, and we're going to be doing some snowboarding content here soon. We're going to take a trip to Perfect North, which is in Indiana, I think it's Indiana. It's like 2.5 hours away from where I live here in Kentucky. So we're going to be doing a video there, and I'll take the GoPro and the camera and everything and do a little vlog. Me and my buddy Charles and the Mexican restaurant that I go eat at all the time, the waiter there, we're going to be going, me and Herman and Charles, and we're going to try to get Scott to go too. So that should be a blast, and I'm sure we'll be crashing and stuff. So it should make some funny content, and it's going to make some awesome content, guys. So that'll be something a little different for the channel. So with that being said, guys, the truck is kind of parked here, broke down. There's nothing that I can really do. I wanted to wash it because it's 61 degrees outside, so it's super nice outside, but I can't get it outside to wash it now, which isn't a huge deal. We can always wash it next week. That'll be pretty much all for today's video. Don't forget to check out KC Turbos. We're going to have this thing installed in no time, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Especially if you have a 6.0, because you're going to want to hear what this sounds like. Unless you have an 03, which majority of the people are going to have 2004.5 through 2007, because that's more year models in production. There are more of those out than there are 03 and 04.5s. So most of y'all are going to have this turbo, and you'll be very curious to hear how this sounds, and I'm doing an absolutely awesome video on it, so y'all are really going to enjoy this one. So stay tuned for that, and always remember, everybody starts as a nobody, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.